Hello, my name is Efrat Bloch Weidoen, and today I'm going to talk about cohabiting and divorce. I wrote the two articles. The first one called The Downside of Cohabiting Before Marriage, and the second one called The Science of Cohabiting, a Step Toward Marriage, Not a Rebellion. I found two similarities between the articles. The first one is that both of the articles talk about the connection between cohabiting and getting divorced. And the second one is that both of the articles warning about cohabiting. They both says that many times when people live together and it can cause this situation. Um, People dating and it's nice. They like each other company, and then they sleep over at each other's places, and they all the time sleep over, and they say, okay, it's not a economic. Let's live together because it's much fun and it's much cheaper, so why not? And then they live together, but they are not entirely thinking through it. They'll it's the easy and fun way. And then many times what happened, they live together long time. They share things together, they share apartment, they share bed, they share sometimes dog, they share television, blender, and their commitment to each other grows, but they're not choosing it. Like they're not it's something that just happened because they live together, and sometimes it can last many years, and sometimes it's convenient and not really choosing to live together, um, and many times they are chose to get married because they are live together for a long time and it's convenient, and like what, now they're going to break up after all these years they live together. So they get married, and many times this is the main cause of getting divorced for cohabiting couples. And the both of the articles warning about this thing, and they are both warning to pay attention. And if you are live together, so you need to be aware of all the time that you are make that make your choice, and not just because you are used to it and because it's convenient. And there are two differences that I found between the articles. The first one is that the author opinion of the cohabiting thing. The In the first paragraph, the author says that she's neither for or against living together, but she says you need to think it through, and you need to take the risks in consideration before you get before you live together and before you get married. You need to think it through, and to be aware. Um, uh, and in the second article, the author says she says there are risks and you need to be careful, but you can see that she's more for cohabiting. You can see it in the title of the article, and many times she implies also in the end that she's for. Um, she says in the last paragraph, um, cohabiting couples, you can you can you can breathe in relief, because etc etc etc. And in the title also she says, it's a step toward marriage, not a rebellion. So she we can see that she's for cohabiting, um, um, and not for or against. She's for. Um, the second differences um, between the articles is that the first article says that cohabiting can cause a divorce. Um, it's the main cause in the article of divorce. And she says that it's not only because people live together, but especially because they are just slide into it and not thinking through about getting married because it's convenient. But she says that um, it's because of cohabiting. And in the second article, she says, um, yes, cohabiting can cause a, a divorce, but it's not uh, entirely true. She said it is a cause, and but the main cause is not cohabiting. The main cause is that people neither married or cohabiting do their commitment uh, when they are young. And she said it's because of the age. The main cause of divorce, it's it's the early age, and not uh, because they are young and they are not entirely understand or know what they want. um, but it is bigger cause of divorce than cohabiting itself. Um, this is the differences between the articles. My opinion on the first one, on the problem discussed in the articles, the article I'm talking about, this downside of cohabiting before marriage, is that first uh, is that in the first article is that couple bypass talking about why they want to live together and what it will mean if they find themselves married to someone they didn't really want it to be married to. And I think um, I think it's true that many times people live together and not entirely thinking, what does it mean? Do I want to be with this man? Do I want to 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 share my life with? And many times if they weren't live together, the relationship was ending sooner, and not lasting so long. And many times people are too scared to break up because this is the person they know many times and lived with and shared their lives together, and they are they are prefer to get married with this person because um, this is what they know. And I think it's a big problem that you don't ask yourself in the entire time of 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 when you are shared a house together, uh, does this man does does this man uh, does he is the man I wanted to live with, to marry with, to be married to, and they are passing past these thoughts and not thinking entirely. And my opinion on the problems discussed in the article, The Science of Cohabiting: A Steps for Marriage, Not a Rebellion, is that the article also says that there are risks in live together before marriage. Uh, it says that research uh, says that, and it's also because of the same reason that people don't really um, um, choose staying together. Most of the people not really choosing every time to stay together, but from convenience. And and second, and there are also another problem that shows in the article is that people getting divorced many times because they are um, lived together or married at a young age, and many times this is was the biggest cause of divorce because they got married before. The article said the age is 33. Uh, I'm sorry, 23. And if you were younger from 23, that your chances to get divorced are much higher than if you are 23 and up. Because when you are young, you are not entirely know yourself, and you are didn't study, and you're not um, have money, and there are many considerations that you are didn't take in consider um, um, before, and so it said this is the problem, um, the main problem, not cohabiting, it's the age. And a brief recommendation for future research, I thought maybe to check how does pregnancy affect cohabiting couples. Are they stayed cohabiting, or are they get married? Is it even a factor, a game changer? And another thing that I thought is that does the cohabiting phenomena uh, makes people not get married at all and just stay um, stay at their position, uh, live together, and that's it, share their life, but not get married. Um, and that's it. Goodbye.